Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in. Today, our goal is to completely demystify data protection so that anyone, yes, even if you don't have an IT background, can handle sensitive information securely and, honestly, with total confidence. Before we jump in, I really want to acknowledge the fantastic team behind today's framework. Huge credits to the main creator, Dr. Raul Gakusan, and contributors Mr. Raul Gakusan Jr., Mr. Nico Yonai-Kere, Ms. Cherry May Cardenas, and Ms. Artemis Nuebe Tico. Their incredible work on this educational content is the foundation of what we're breaking down right now. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The value of data. 2. 4 tiers of data. 3. Identifying personal information. 4. The Data Privacy Act. And 5. Practical rules for protection. Let's get to it. Section 1. The value of data. Think about it for a second. Every single organization runs on an absolute mountain of data. Now, on one end of the spectrum, we've got harmless data, public website content, flyers, marketing brochures that you actively want the whole world to see. But on the other end, well, that's where the high-stakes stuff lives. Passwords, private health records, detailed financials, and legally binding contracts. We absolutely need a structured system to manage all of this, because exposing those high-stakes items, it doesn't just cause a minor administrative headache. It can harm real people, trigger massive legal penalties, and severely damage an organization's reputation. Section 2. 4 tiers of data. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we actually organize it all. Coming straight from Module 3 of our framework, we use a vital mental filing system, a 4-tier classification pyramid based entirely on sensitivity. Why? So you know exactly how carefully to handle a piece of information the very second it hits your desk. At the base, we have public data, like those marketing brochures. Totally safe for anyone, no special handling required. Moving up one step, we hit internal. This is strictly for staff only, like general memos or org charts. The rule is simple. Just don't share it externally. Then it gets serious. Confidential data. It includes contracts and financials. You only share this with authorized people, and you must encrypt it when sending. Finally, at the very peak, we have restricted data. We are talking about passwords and health data here. If this gets exposed, serious harm happens. It demands strict access controls and absolutely minimal copies. So how do you put this into practice during a crazy busy workday? You just ask what I call the golden question. Who is allowed to see this, and what happens if the wrong person does? If you ask yourself that single question every single time you create a new spreadsheet or receive a document, you instantly build data classification right into your daily workflow. It just becomes second nature. Section 3. Identifying personal information. All right, we're now zooming in on a very specific high-stakes subset of confidential and restricted data, PII, or personally identifiable information. This is literally any information that can identify a specific person, either completely on its own or when combined with other data. Think about concrete examples here. Names, home addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, government IDs, birthdays, and even biometric data like a fingerprint. Honestly, regardless of your technical background, if you see these elements in a file, warning bells should instantly go off in your head. But wait, it actually goes one layer deeper. Certain types of PII are elevated to what is legally called sensitive personal information. We're talking health records, religion, ethnicity, financial account details, and government-issued IDs. This isn't just your standard data. If you're handling this specific type of information, it deserves the absolute highest level of security your organization can provide. Why? Because exposing it can lead to direct discrimination or identity theft. It's a huge deal. Section 4. The Data Privacy Act. And this brings us right to the why behind everything we're discussing today, specifically Republic Act No. 10173, widely known as the Philippine Data Privacy Act of 2012, which is enforced by the National Privacy Commission. Just to impartially state the facts here, any organization that collects or processes personal data must comply with RA 10173. What that actually means for you is that every single staff member who touches this data has a legal and ethical duty to protect it. It is simply the law of the land. So the crucial point is understanding the 3 foundational principles of this law. Let's quickly break them down. First, transparency. No secret data gathering, right? People have to be informed about how their data is being used. Second, legitimate purpose. No snooping. Data is only for declared lawful reasons. You can't just collect it because you feel like it. And third, proportionality. Essentially, don't be a data hoarder. Collect and keep only the data you actually need. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates what all that complex legal jargon actually boils down to in practice. The data subject definitely has legal rights, like the right to access, correct, or erase their data. But for your daily routine, just remember this quote: handle people's data as carefully as you'd want your own handled. It's basically the highly relatable golden rule of workplace ethics, just applied to data privacy. Now, I do need to remind you of the stakes here, because they're real. Data protection is definitely not just an issue for the IT department to worry about. Failure to follow the Data Privacy Act carries some severe legal weight. Heavy fines, potential imprisonment, and serious, sometimes completely irrevocable, reputational damage to the organization. The real-world consequences are, frankly, massive. Section 5. Practical Rules for Protection. Okay, we've covered the what and the why. Now here is the how. Let's walk through this practical endpoint governance checklist for your daily habits. Step 1. Collect only what is needed. Step 2. Limit access to those who genuinely need it to do their jobs. Step 3. Always encrypt sensitive personal data when storing or sending it. Step 4. Keep data in approved locations only. That means absolutely no sneaking work files onto your personal cloud drives or sharing them on private messaging apps. I mean, we've all seen someone leave a password on a sticky note or email a spreadsheet to their personal account. Don't be that person. And step 5, dispose of data properly. Shred physical documents and securely delete digital files. This whole list just reinforces the core theme: least privilege, least data, and least exposure. But hey, we're human. What happens if an honest mistake occurs? Well, you must report suspected breaches immediately. Under RA 1073, there are incredibly tight breach notification timelines. Fast reporting to your IT or security team is literally the difference between a near miss and a disastrous breach. Never, ever stay silent out of fear or embarrassment. Reporting the incident immediately, without fear of blame, is absolutely one of the most critical security habits you can develop. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. Are you protecting people's data as carefully as you'd want your own handled? Take a second to really let that sink in. I challenge you to apply this exact mindset to the very next task you do at work today. Thank you so much for learning with me. Stay sharp, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.